football rivalry details the intense footballing rivalry in Seville and why Spanish football is more than Barcelona and Real Madrid. Okay, would anybody like me to repeat that in Spanish? Bueno, voy a repasar rápidamente. Que Colin es un periodista norirlandés que es edita el Fútbol España y su libro nuevo, The Frying Pan of Spain, el sartén de España, Sevilla versus Real Betis, la rivalidad más caliente del fútbol español. Detalla la rivalidad en Sevilla y le explica al mundo por qué el fútbol español no es solo el Barça y el Real Madrid. Okay, here's Colin.
Hola chicos, voy a hablar en... Hola chicos, voy a hablar en español por un momento y después hablamos en inglés porque mi nivel de español no es muy alto, pero muchas gracias a todos por venir. Para mí es un placer estar aquí y espero que disfrutéis el evento. Gracias.
Colin.
You take seconds.
Okay.
1, 2. Okay, we're just going to do a quick Q&A with Colin here. So, Colin, you've lived in Seville, but what made you choose to write specifically about the rivalry in the city?
Yeah, well, I mean, we just sort of talked about it in the introduction, but a lot of people, especially from outside of Spain, think of Spanish football, they think of Barcelona, they think of Real Madrid, but nothing much more beyond that. Whereas I've lived in Seville, I've visited the city a lot of times, and I instantly recognise just how special football clubs are here, how special the football rivalry is here, how unique it is, and how different it is from everything else I've ever experienced. And I wanted to document that, and I wanted to bring it to a wider audience, not just for people within Spain, not just for people within the city, but for fans in England and further afield as well. So hopefully with this book, I've attempted to do that, and also just to showcase the city and the clubs for the fantastic institutions that they really are.
Your book talks about more than just the football clubs. It encompasses Spanish history, politics, geographical and cultural significance.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think those are all very, very important for the clubs, for the setting of why the clubs are so important for so many people and why it's so important within the city. So yeah. I mean, I want to give it a full picture of just why the clubs are so significant and why people are so passionate about the clubs. And it's because Seville in general is a very passionate city, as everyone here will know, and that's translated into football. And I wanted to convey that within the book, and I wanted to convey just why the history is so important and why everything just matters so much.
Despite both clubs being significant, they have each only one league title. Have they underachieved in this context?
When you talk about achievement in Spanish football, you can't look beyond the financial gap that there is between Barcelona, Madrid, Atletico Madrid and the rest of the clubs. So on one hand, yes, there's a sense of underachievement, only one title ever for each club. But you have to recognise the gap that there is, the challenges that both clubs have faced over the decades, over the last century, that they're various. So yeah, it's very, very difficult for them to close the gap, but when you look at what Sevilla have done in the past 10 or 15 years in European competition, no other club has achieved that, 5 European titles. And when you look at Betis, the fact that they've got probably the 4th biggest fan base within Spanish football, it's incredible the potential that club has. So yes, there's obviously a lot more that can be done, but yes, they're two huge clubs that matter a lot.
What were the biggest challenges you encountered while writing your book?
I suppose, again, everybody here will know there's a lot of controversy surrounding a lot of historical aspects, foundation dates, who was involved with the clubs, and everything else. And especially in terms of there's a lot of bickering between historians of clubs of how certain clubs might have been have gained an advantage from authorities over the years or whatever else, and there's a lot of conflicting information, so there's a lot of research involved in that aspect. But that was probably the biggest challenge. But again, another challenge is trying to portray the emotion and the passion that's in the city into the book, and into just describing why the rivalry is so special and unique.
How would you best describe the book?
I suppose I'd best describe the book as like this encompasses, this describes the best derby in Spanish football, possibly in European football, and it transmits the passion and the authenticity of these games and of these clubs, because ultimately that's what they are. These games aren't for the tourists, you know, like Barcelona and Madrid could be. People taking selfies whenever goals go in. That doesn't happen in Seville. These clubs are different, the fans are different, and it's a very, very special, authentic experience, and I wanted to convey that, and I think I have done in the context of our written.
Thank you very much, Colin.
Thank you.
We're going to do a short quiz for the people. No,
Yeah.
do you want to?
Unless anyone has any
Actually,
questions.
would anybody like to ask Colin a question?
Yeah, Colin. Colin, obviously, of all the things that you spoke about, what was the one most satisfying thing you can take from the book? What's the one satisfying thing about writing this book in general?
I suppose a lot of it I was learning as it's going along. So as I was writing this and I was researching it, a lot of it is information that wasn't widely available beforehand. So you learn a lot while you write it, and a lot of it, as I said before, there's so much to admire about both these clubs, about both these sets of fans. So yeah, the opportunity to talk to a lot of different people, get a lot of different perspectives, that was probably the most satisfying thing, bringing that all together in one publication.
Si alguien más quiere hacer una pregunta, espera. Coge. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here you go. Sorry.
Hey, you listening? Something okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
After all your sessions and your findings, of course, you wish them or are you getting closer?
Yeah, I would have done that.
That's a real deal. I mean.
That's a great question. Great question.
Which team do you prefer? I mean, it's a question I'm going to ask by pretty much everybody in this room at some point. And if I said which team I prefer, I lose half the room automatically. So I'm not going to do that. There's a lot of books on one club or the other that are done by historians of the club, fans of the club. I think if you look at this from a fan's point of view, you lose perspective of what makes the derby special. If you're from the city, it's difficult to sort of get yourself out of it because it's your normal, but from an outsider's perspective, it's a sort of fresh set of eyes, and you learn and discover so much about both clubs that there's genuinely a lot to admire. And when you look at the histories, I hope that I conveyed that properly, but I mean, I have a massive soft spot for both clubs and for both sets of fans, because the other thing as well, both have been very, very helpful in helping me research this and write it. And I don't have a bad word to say about anyone, so yeah, I mean, both clubs have been fantastic.
I think that's very fairly answered. I think a lot of people who are born here don't get to choose their club. It's how they're brought up. So I think what's great about this book is that we have an outsider's perspective on both clubs and a fair perspective.
Hi Colin, I'm Bill.
Hi Bill.
Nice to meet you. I've only read probably about the first 100 pages or so, but I was struck in the research, and something you might want to comment on, the deep links between people living in Spain from Britain, living and working in Spain and Britain, the history of English coaches in Spanish football. I was aware of that with Recreativo de Huelva, obviously, but what I've learned from the book is that they were really fundamental to the formation of particularly Sevilla.
Yes.
So I wonder what your thoughts on that, because you've uncovered quite a lot in your researches that you've done for the book.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously Sevilla were founded predominantly by British business owners who lived and worked in the city, mainly Scottish on Burns Night. Betis, on the other hand, had more Spanish roots, more Andalusian roots, and they've always been very proud of that. But at the same time, yeah, there's huge significance. Sevilla's first ever proper manager was from Donegal in the Republic of Ireland, Charles O'Hagan, and obviously Patrick O'Connell, who won the only Betis league title in their history, had two spells in charge of there, spell in charge of Sevilla. Hugely significant figures, and yeah, pioneering figures definitely. Of course, there's significant British and Irish roots within both clubs, and yeah, it's really interesting because there's so many stories that haven't been properly reported on before, and that was one of my passions about writing this, was getting these stories that had never been told out there, because we all know about the job Patrick O'Connell Foundation have done in recent years, but there's so much more to it than that, and there's so many more other individuals who deserve to be recognised, I think, and hopefully I've gone some way to doing that justice and to giving them the story that they really had.
Anybody else? No? Okay.